Number one reason why a lot of people have land issue is greediness. Greediness is one major problem that causes this and this greediness comes in two different forms. One is from those people who own this land. I mean the landowners. What they do is that in most cases, when you buy this property at the early stage, they enjoy the money, they take up the money, and when they see the property begin to appreciate 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, the temptation of reselling that property, and when they begin to get more offer from different people, because as that land is being situated at that place, other neighboring properties are also there. And as time goes on, the property continues to appreciate. And once they begin to appreciate, being a property, they know how much they sold to you. Maybe they sold to you at the rate of maybe 500,000, and at this time, the property has climbed to as far as maybe 3 million or 2 million. Greediness will come in them. And as people who don't have integrity, they will not begin to find a way to sell to other people with the intention of refunding you your fund if you find out early. So, but in most cases, you might not find out. You understand? And after they receive the money from the new person, they will not even keep the fund to return the money back to you or to tell you in time to come and take your money or whatever reason they wanted to. Their greediness will also increase because that part they wanted to use to settle you, they will also need that part and leaving you to be in battle with the new buyer, which happens often and often. Then the second part of this greediness is the one that comes from the people you sent, especially people who helps you to buy that land. Majority of them take you to where they will get their own gain. They never thought so well how genuine these properties are going to be. What they are so interested is their commission. What they are so interested is what they are going to gain in that property. They're not very careful to study, to check the integrity of the people, because if you check all the properties you got, you find out that either you get it from family member or a friend. Majority of this property we are talking about are properties you got either from family member or friends, and that is how properties are being sold in Nigeria. 90% of properties has been sold in this manner. Do you understand? It is only recently that people can really look at people maybe online and know that this company are genuine and they can buy from them. So, but majority of the properties that has issue are from family and friend. So, and greediness is one major item there. So number two reason is because of lack of experience. I mean, majority of these people who have these issues are people who are buying properties for the first time. Most of them lack investment experience. If you are experienced enough, there are people you ask about landed properties. You know the kind of people you will buy from. You know how reputable they are. You know if they have the capacity to protect your properties or not. Because if you have a good experience, you will know that in Nigeria, a lot of land issues and cases in landed properties. So having known this with your experience, either with your business experience, with the information you have gotten from so many people, and your uncles, your relatives, and other, you must have known that land transactions are something you have to be very, very careful. And you don't do it because somebody is related to you or what. You go for where property is going to be protected. So, and it is only experience that gives you this. So most of the people that have these issues are first-time buyers or people who were not able to learn from previous mistakes. Do you understand? So these are the major causes of this. Number three in this category is people who overtrust their family members and friends. Some of them we ask the company to add money. If a property is being sold at 1 million, they ask the company to put like 200 or 300 or 500,000 for them extra. Some of them will say, add money for him. He has money, as in he has extra money, then he can pay extra. These are part of the challenges we face. So, and when we refuse to give them this opportunity to add extra costs, extra money on a landed property, begin to give a bad review. Do you know why he give bad review? So that he will now divert the mind of the buyer to another place where he will get his own bidding, where that kind of business will be done on him. Even if you are not there, these days you can go on visual tours to avoid this kind of situation, because those people you think they are going to protect you, they are not going to do that. Some who are good, who want to get best for you, some of them don't have experience. Some of them lack basic experience when it comes to land business. So, and the majority of others who come for such inspection have what they will benefit at the back of their mind. So it makes them to try to negotiate further for extra thing for themselves instead of achieving that your own objective, which made you to send them in the first place. The fourth situation that brings about land problem in Nigeria is buyer's fault. Most of these problems are being caused by the buyers. You might not understand it now, but let me explain. Majority of these buyers, they fail to do their homework. If you have this kind of issue before, and if you introspect in what have led to this situation earlier on, you find out that there are a few signs that this thing might come out. You might use because land is cheap. You might use because you were able to negotiate so much. Maybe somebody give you a land for 5 million and you begin to negotiate to 3 million, and you think that they love you, that's why they are giving you that properties. Majority of our people, out of carelessness, they will fail to ask the right question, and they will begin to link up with people who has absolutely nothing to contribute to that transaction, taking their decision very cumbersome. For you to buy a good property, you must have to understand that there are people who are expert on that. And when you are talking with a professional, always listen and ask relevant questions. He asks about the documentation, he asks about the antecedent, he asks about the records, he asks about the landmarks, he asks about you can go as far as trying to chart the properties in the Ministry of Land. Many people don't do their homework. It is when their brother or their friend told them that somebody had land somewhere, and they will convince them to go and buy that land without making any inquiries. That is why I said majority of this problem, if you look inwardly, most of the mistakes you guys make, a lot of people will not make that mistake again because they understand the rudiment. You don't go and ask a bricklayer about information about gold. When you need an information about gold, don't go to a bricklayer. You go to a goldsmith. They are the people who will give you advice on that. But some of you, because you have a cousin somewhere, you have a brother somewhere who has not owned a property before, and you go there to ask the person to give you advice or go and inspect land for you. You ask people who has acquired multiple properties on their own to inspect land for you. The fifth one, that is the last but not the least, is a weak government system. In a situation where land policies have been made, new government has the tendency to change it. Multiple changes will begin to occur because we don't have strong institutions that is able to uphold these laws, whether no government comes in or not. So most of them has power to manipulate so many things in their own favor. So, but even at that, if that is the only issue we have in land acquisitions and land, all the land issues in Nigeria, it means 80% of this land problem. But weak institution is a very big problem for us. But how do you deal on that? There are ways and multiple ways to deal with that. You need to work with people who have owned at least 10 properties in different locations in their own name if you have the intention of sending someone. And I'm not just talking about anyhow person, someone who is trustworthy if you can secure such person. But to find out people who can navigate this, that is why credible real estate industries are there to do that job for you, because they know how the policy is being done and they know what to do to be able to maneuver that challenges when it comes, when the next government comes. So they know how to do regularizations and all that registration, everything they need to do about the properties, they need to do it and do it right. So, but if you as an individual want to do it alone, that is why you always fall into troubles. So that is the last one. Then in conclusion and summary, these are the points, the things you need to do so that you can be able to avoid these issues from number 1 to the last point, which is number 5.